right, guys, welcome back to another video. We will get started here talking about some Xbox games that are landing on Xbox Game Pass that are exclusive to the ecosystem. But before we do start, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy daily gaming content, and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Check out my link to my Spotify. That link is in the description. So as we know, back in January, Palworld was released on Xbox and on PC, and also within Xbox Game Pass. And that was a huge boost, I think, for Xbox and for Game Pass, for people to go and subscribe and try out this insanely popular game. A huge win for the indie studio that created it. And of course, it's continued to do very well. It's made a ton of money, tons of sales, and they're probably going to be making some more games because of that, and obviously continuing to bring more content to the game itself. But we have another one here in that same sort of genre, but obviously not as crazy. You're not going to be going out there and shooting Pokemon or fighting Pokemon. This one is more taming Pokemon. It is in that subgenre, though, of catching and taming and training your monsters. And this game here is called Creatures of Ava. Now, we have previously seen this game, and we knew it was coming out, but we didn't have an official release date. And now we do have that official release date. It is going to be launching on August 7th, 2024 for the Xbox Series XS, Xbox Game Pass, and PC via Steam, the Epic Game Store, and GOG. And they say that the game is a unique take on the monster catching subgenre, where you befriend animals to tame them instead of fighting them, and work together to save the planet of Ava from being ruined by an infectious plague called the Withering. They gave us a new trailer yesterday where we got to see more about this game itself, and then gave us that official release date. So this game is right around the corner, and it will be interesting to track and see how big and successful it does. Are they going to be able to kind of ride that wave that we've seen Palworld come into? Pokemon is always very popular. Palworld kind of fed off of that and gave a brand new experience with all of the base building and the different weaponry within the game. Kind of, I guess, a more mature Pokemon style game. This one seems more along the lines of the Nintendo Pokemon games, and then maybe it will be able to have a similar success. Now, this is be huge for an indie studio. People are going to be able to check it out on Game Pass day one, see if they like it, see if it's something that's similar to what they enjoyed about Palworld or what they enjoy about Pokemon or any other games like that. And then that will obviously determine how big it is. If it is good, of course, is going to be the major thing. You'll see lots of gameplay clips popping up and people just overall talking about. So an interesting one here to track, not like the biggest game in the world, but because of the success that we have seen with these styles of games, and again, recently Palworld, Creatures of Ava is one that I'm going to keep my eye on and just kind of see if Game Pass has the same effect, and if this subgenre of game, when new versions come out of it, are people really always wanting something different here? Are they always wanting something more than what they get with Pokemon itself? So August 7th, just around the corner. Make sure to check that one out. And then we have more information about, I think, a bigger game here coming over to Xbox Game Pass and in the Xbox ecosystem, another day one game for Xbox Game Pass, and that was Towerborn. We got some more information overall about the Belfry and the places that you're going to be visiting within this game before you go out on your adventures. We know it's like one of those games where there is a hub where you create your team, you bolster your character and all of these things, your gear, and then you go out there on the missions. And we got more information about that, as well as confirmation that this game is still looking to be coming out this year, guessing sometime in the fall. So these are all the different areas here within the Belfry that you're going to be able to go to. You have the council building, and this is where you're going to report on your progress to your friends and everything that you've explored and finished throughout the world as you go through your adventure. And they say why it's almost like a veritable hub of, quests, like a quest hub. Very exciting. So basically it's the quest. And then you have the Ace HQ, and they say this is where you'll meet Paloma and learn more about being an ace. You'll meet Rix there. Sorta, she relates a bit more to Umbra than Ace is, but she's around. And either way, that is another key location where you will find some key quests to unlock more of the mysteries of the world. And they say, did I use the word key enough? So that's where you're going to, I guess, pick up your quests before going out. And then you have the Forge, and exactly what a forge is. It's what you're going to be doing there, improving your weapons and your gear and everything. You have the training hall, and of course, exactly as it sounds, you're going to be able to train, practice combos, and see how you can take on enemies better before you go out. Then there is the face right, and this basically here is just upgrading your look. You're really going to have, they say, unlimited ability to change your look at any time. So changing the way your characters look before you go out on your adventure. Then there is the overlook, and they say this is just a place for you to go and enjoy the view. And there's a lot going on in the world, and sometimes you just need to stand above it all, take a deep breath, and vibe with the universe. What a better place than the top of humanity's world. So those are the different areas in the Belfry. I guess that's what you would expect in a game like this, a place to upgrade your gear, change how you look, and get quests and hand in quests and stuff like that. And then down here at the bottom, they do confirm here, Towerborn will be released later this year. Still don't have an official release date. I'm thinking probably September is when this game is going to be coming out, but I'm looking forward to it. This is a game from the gameplay that they have shown off that I know I enjoy these styles of games, those hack and slash RPGs, and I'm really excited to finally see more of this one. We didn't see it at this year's game showcase, and probably because we've already seen a lot about it, they figured let's not take up a spot for Towerborn since they've already shown it off a lot. So hopefully sooner rather than later, we will get that official announcement for the release date. All right, let's jump over here to something pretty cool. And this is a game that is going to be coming out for the Xbox Series X and S and the Xbox One. And this is a game that was originally supposed to be coming out on the OG Xbox, but got canceled. And that game is called Captain Blood. It is officially here, making its comeback this fall, unless again it gets canceled again. And this is basically a hack and slash pirate game. Now, this isn't going to blow anybody away in terms of graphically or revolutionary gameplay or anything, but if you go and watch the trailer, these are the styles of games that I really do enjoy playing. Just hack and slash, kind of doesn't take itself too seriously in the themes and everything. Pirates, always cool. And this game is going to finally be coming back out. You can see some of the gameplay here. It looks fun to me. I know I will enjoy it. But it says Captain Blood is a pirate-themed action game set on the Spanish Main in the 17th century, where you step into the boots of a fearsome pirate on a quest for gold and glory. Expect wild adventures with cannon firing, pistol shooting, swashbuckling sword fights, and plenty of pirate shenanigans. This action-packed hack and slash features fierce hand-to-hand combat, hordes of enemies, and a classic fighting system with flashy combos and epic finishers. Think about like 360 days, OG Xbox days. If you just want to sit back and have a good time, not think too in depth about the mechanics, this is probably going to be like that. They say prepare for intense deck battles where you fire the ship's cannons and fend off bloodthirsty boarding crews, collect gold to upgrade your fighting skills, buy new weapons, and become the most feared buccaneer on the high seas, fight for wealth and glory. So this game is making a comeback, and we don't have an official release date, but it is coming in fall of 2024. This is a big theme I think we are seeing more so this year than we've seen in a while, is we don't get official release dates, even for games coming out a few months down the road. They just say like the season it's coming in. It's fall 2024 or summer 2024. And maybe that's because with everything going on in the industry, they don't want to just lock themselves onto a specific date. But I'll be looking forward to this one. Maybe it will be an Xbox Game Pass launch as well, but we'll wait and see on that. And then we have this here. If you're a fan of Insurgency Sandstorm, there is going to be a huge free update coming on Xbox Game Pass. So it says here, all aboard for action, introducing Trainer, the newest original map for Insurgency Sandstorm. Whether you're engaging in CQB, mid-range skirmishes, or picking off enemies with the newly added sniper rifles, Trainer, it offers a brutal and immersive experience that will test your tactical prowess and sharpshooting skills. Ready to dominate on the field of battle, your next mission starts here. So a big update that is coming to this game with new maps and stuff, and it arrives first on Xbox Game Pass. That's just kind of, I think, another perk there of having a subscription to that service. And the update itself is out right now. So if you're playing this game, you can go ahead and download Operation Crisis. So that's pretty cool. Some updates there from some Xbox games and games that are coming out in the future. And then we will jump over here to something happening with PlayStation, which I think is awesome. And that is Timesplitters could be heading to PlayStation Plus. Timesplitters, that older first-person shooter, a great game. We were supposed to be getting a new one, but obviously with the Embracer Group, they closed down the studio. And we also got some leaked footage of it, which kind of did not look like it was going to be a great revitalization of the series. It just kind of looked like Fortnite, but that's besides the point. I love the series, and I hope one day we actually do get a new Timesplitters game. But it says here, as spotted by Gematsu, the country's classification body has rated Timesplitters for PS4 and PlayStation 5, and the Taiwanese rating board is a regular source of product leaks, including several games that ended up coming to PlayStation Plus. So as we know with PlayStation Plus, depending on the tier that you have, you get backwards compatible games, and Timesplitters could be one of those coming into PlayStation Plus soon. If you have Xbox, you can actually play Timesplitters 2 and then Timesplitters Future Perfect, which are the games coming after the first one here, via the backwards compatibility. But of course, this one didn't release on Xbox when it first came out. This was only on the PlayStation 2. So this will be the way to play it if they do actually release this on PlayStation Plus, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, again, Free Radical closed last year as a part of the huge company cuts and Bracer and the whole reorganization. So I don't think we'll ever be seeing a Timesplitters 4 at any point in the future. Now let's jump over here. Star Wars Jedi Survivor has officially been rated for the last generation consoles. If you remember, last August, they actually came out and announced that they were bringing this game to the PS4 and the Xbox One, saying Star Wars Jedi Survivor is pure blockbuster entertainment rooted in a timeless culture-defining IP. Our team at Respawn proudly launched this title to critical acclaim and commercial success. Millions of players have already engaged with the game, making this one of the biggest events in Star Wars Galaxy this year. Thanks to the strengths of this legendary franchise and community demand, our development team has committed to bringing this Jedi experience to PS4 and the Xbox One. So we know this game is coming. We don't really know when, but it looks like it could be sooner rather than later, as it has recently been classified for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 in Brazil. This is kind of crazy to me. I mean, this is a game that released only on these current generations of consoles, and we're 4 years now into the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, yet they are still going out of their way to specifically develop versions for the PS4 and the Xbox One, consoles that came out in 2013. And you would think, why really waste their time on it? And is that even worth the resources for Respawn to put into it? And clearly, I mean, they probably have the numbers of the amount of people still playing on those last generation consoles, and the answer would be yes. And specifically, we did see with PlayStation how like almost 50% of PlayStation users on PSN are accessing it via the PlayStation 4. The PS4 is still very, very prominent. 4 years since the release of the PlayStation 5, and I wonder how many more years it's going to take before that percentage of users on the PS4 gets small enough for them to not care, or for any developers to not care about making games for the last generation of consoles. We've talked about this a couple of times now, and people always like to make the signs that the Xbox Series S is the console holding back this generation. But clearly it is the fact that we are 4 years into this gen, and for major games, they are still being developed for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Now, a game that was announced yesterday, or 2 days ago, I should say, at the Nintendo Direct was the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake. And it looks really cool. This is a game that we knew was coming for a while, and now they're saying that they actually regret announcing the game so early. And I don't think this is really anything new for some developers, as they do announce games kind of early, and then there's a lot of questions and backlash when you don't hear anything about those games for years. This says here that an official X account of the previous game, Bravely Default 2, the studio noted that the game's development had been straightforward, but suggested it would have waited before announcing that it was in development. They say here, we've been told that too much time has passed since we announced the start of development, but this isn't unusual, seeing as all of our titles have taken 3 to 4 years to develop. However, the initial announcement was too early compared to others. We are reflecting on this, so thank you very much for waiting. And as we know, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake will be released November 14th on the Switch, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X and S, and PC. I'm actually looking forward to this one. It looks really good what they did here with this remake. And one of the things that we did see now is there's a bunch of different editions for this game. You have the Collector's Edition, which I believe is only via the Square Enix store. It's a Square Enix store exclusive, so if you want that, if you're a big Dragon Quest fan, go check that out. But then we also see the box art, and I know this isn't really a big thing, but the box art is really cool. I love it. And one of the things we are now noticing is that Xbox box art, the change in what they have on the box from an Xbox branding perspective. They've made it very minimalistic. You can see only the Xbox logo in the top left and then some writing in the top right as to the platform that it is on, comparatively to what they previously had with that bar going across the top, kind of still what the PlayStation 5 has. I just think this looks really good. The minimalism, you're allowing the box art to be taking up more of the cover, and I just want to show that because I thought this is really nice. I mean, for the box art itself, this is a game I would want a physical version of to have on my shelf because it does look so cool. So cool stuff there with Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, and hopefully we see all of these games coming out in the future using this new Xbox box design, because I think it's far better than what they previously did have. And we will jump over here. Shadow of the Erdtree, Elden Ring, highest rated DLC ever. It is, the reviews have come out for Erdtree, and I mean, it did not shock anybody with how good of a review this game got. Right now, they're saying here that at the time of writing, the expansion has Metacritic score of 95 based on 56 review. The base game has a score of 96 based on 93 critics review. So obviously Elden Ring is going to go down in history as one of the greatest video games ever created. And now the DLC is going to go down potentially as the greatest DLC ever created, at least on a score base from Metacritic. Obviously, it's not going to be for everybody. I understand that. I'm just saying strictly off of the score that it does have. And everything I've read about it sounds very, very cool. So if you want to punish yourself and try to get through this Erdtree DLC, well, I guess punish yourself by dying all the time, but at the same time, still enjoying an incredible gaming experience, go check it out because it is sounding like it is one of the best DLCs ever made. And then we have this here, Bluepoint Games is still working on an original title, apparently. We know Bluepoint is known for their remakes. They did that big Demon Souls remake with the launch of the PlayStation 5, which was a key launch title for PlayStation. However, people have been wondering, what are they working on? Are they just doing more remakes? There's been tons of rumors about stuff that they would potentially be remaking. But now we have confirmation that they're actually working on an original project. And I'm very, very happy to hear that because I would much rather get some original stuff here from PlayStation rather than just some more remakes. It says here, however, when Sony's acquisition was announced, Bluepoint president Marco Thrush said that studio was aiming to work on original content going forward, saying, our next project we're working on is original content right now. We can't talk about what that is, but that's the next step in the evolution for us. And then we also have this here, with almost 3 years having passed since the acquisition, PlayStation businesses have recently undergone significant restructuring. And we know about everything that's happening at PlayStation, moving to a lot more games as a service, and pretty much 2 years without any major big first party content. But just recently on X, there was a response to kind of confirm that they are still working on original content. It says, nothing has changed since our statement that we are working on an original title. This is via Peter Dalton, who is the Chief Technology Officer at Bluepoint Games. So if you were worried, don't worry, they're still working on an original title. He also says everything takes time. We are committed to sharpening our skills. So, I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm happy that they're getting the time to make something original. And hopefully when it comes out, as you would expect from a lot of PlayStation first party studios, is that these games come out polished and interesting. That's what we're going to get here from PlayStation as well. And when it's talking about PlayStation, because I guess they don't have too much more to show this year, they're also skipping Gamescom 2024. Sony has actually confirmed that it will skip Gamescom 2024, marking it the 5th year in a row that Sony won't attend this event in Germany. They specifically said to a German outlet, Games Wirtschaft, I don't know if I said that correctly, Sony Interactive currently has no plans to exhibit at Gamescom 2024. And we talked about this last week. What we have heard is that Xbox still has so much games that they can show off that they are definitely going to Gamescom 2024, and we could get just another crazy showcase. So it's a vast difference here as to what is going on between Xbox and PlayStation from what is in the cooker for first party IPs. Xbox has so many, almost too many, that they have to split up how they're showing them. PlayStation right now is at that phase where they're just not ready to show off anything. I'm thinking next year we will get a big PlayStation showcase, setting themselves up for a very strong 2025 and beyond, especially if they're going to announce a PlayStation 5 Pro. But as of 2024 and pretty much 2023, they have nothing right now. So hopefully all of this waiting from the PlayStation side of things pays off in 2025 and after that. But I'll end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
We'll be right back.